We got about 2 minutes left on our break, but I'm back from the potty. So if you guys have a question, go ahead and type that in the chat. I'm happy to answer it. I really hope you guys will join me in this package and join us for the actual live training, Hidden Laws of Attraction, August 20th through the 24th here in San Diego. It's one of the most fun classes, and it's a great introduction to our secret inner door trainings that we do. It's one of the few energy trainings that we give to just anybody who comes in off the street. You don't need any training whatsoever to do Hidden Laws. Thank you. Holly's saying, for what it's worth, as a longtime member of David's community, I can't believe he is offering such an amazing deal. He gives good packages, but this is definitely the best package I've ever seen him. It's true. And again, one of the reasons that I'm doing it is because I see a lot of suffering out there. Welcome, Kavita. Thank you for joining us. I can't wait to meet you and have you in Planet David. Woohoo! I see, there's a lot of shit going on, we're recession, this, post-COVID, that, the stock market's going boobs up or whatever. You know what? We need to rise above it. We need skills and technologies that allow us to chart our course and create our reality. And every now and then, we don't need a handout. We need a hand up. These classes and these trainings have truly changed my life. And I have been both blessed and tasked with the mission to spread the teachings. And so that's what I'm doing. But there are spiritual laws in effect. There's certain things you can give away, but there's other things that there has to be. My spiritual, one of my guru teachers, Dr. Johnson, he'll tell you, nothing's free. And some of the most expensive stuff you'll get is free stuff. And so, when you do these processes, they will work. But once again, they're going to cause transformations. Let me jump out of. Let me go. They're going to cause transformations in you. They're going to cause things to happen within you that have to happen for you to be the person who can have the things you want. But if nobody, I'm not, like I said, it's not all going to be peaches and cream. This is the fast track is often the most aggressive, I guess is a good way to say it, in a benevolent kind of way. Everything is going to work to your highest good. But that doesn't mean you won't have to face some of your inner demons. And so if you want the power, it's yours by right, but you have to earn back the right to access it. I don't know. Somebody out there needs to hear this. I don't know who, but somebody out there needs to hear this. So I can't make it any easier than it is, right? If this is calling to you, click the link and get in the program and let the universe take care of the rest, right? All you've got to do is take the actions. Let the universe do the heavy lifting, okay? Apply these teachings. Let me be your guide. Let Stephanie and Holly and Seth and, the amazing people in Planet David who've been through what you're about to do. Let us help. That's what we're here for, right? In our virtual communities, in our live events, you're not alone. For what it's worth. I don't know. I don't know why I'm saying this, but somebody out there needed to hear that. So click the links and let's get you on the fast track to the life you want the way that you want it. Okay. www.nlppower.com/HLOA. All right. That being said, this officially transfers us into part 3. So in part 1 of the webinar, we taught you about the importance of knowing your outcome, knowing what you want, which means you have to know what you want and you have to have a way of measuring how you're getting it, right? And again, we will go much more in depth on the nuances of that in Hidden Laws of Attraction live training in August. But for right now, to get started, the only thing you need to know is what you want, stated in positive terms, how you know that you're getting it, how you're going to measure if you're moving towards it or away from it. Okay. The next piece is control your state. This is probably, in my opinion, one of the single biggest places that people get screwed up trying to use the law of attraction, for a lot of the reasons I talked about at the beginning of the webinar. First and foremost, they believe that if they just repeat words over and over and over again in their head, that it'll cause something to happen. It's true enough to be true, but not true enough to be reliable. Okay, now here's what I mean by that. If your emotional state is not conducive or in resonance with the affirmations or the suggestions or directions you're trying to give your nervous system or contact through your higher mind, nothing's going to happen. If the words that you're using are structurally incorrect, if you don't know the laws of mental dynamics about how certain words are processed by your other than conscious mind, you're going to get the opposite of what you want. If you don't have enough energy in the system, you're not going to get what you want. In fact, you'll probably wind up getting the opposite of what you want, because when you start interacting with the non-local universe, nature abhors a vacuum. And if the universe senses an energy deficit, it's like a suction cup. But because your vibration isn't high, you'll tend to attract more of that crap, which fills your reservoir with crap, right? So, yeah. So how do we start changing this spiral effect? First and foremost, understand that higher vibrations supersede or control or dominate lower vibrations. Now we have to delineate what's a higher vibration, what's a lower vibration. The way that we do that, the easiest, most functional way to begin to work with vibration in the body is through the use of kinesthetics or body feelings. If I have a happy, joyful, playful, loving, gratitude-based body state, I have a higher vibrational frequency. If I have a state that makes me angry, sad, depressed, lonely, envious, or any of those emotions, anything that leads me towards being more serious, I'm moving towards a negative vibrational state. If you want to attract things faster, you must operate from the highest state possible. Because if you try to do these things in a lower vibrational state, you're going to taint your manifestation. Does that make sense? Does everybody kind of following me with this? Hold on a second, let me get the chat back. Okay, cool. So we gave you the understanding of high vibration versus low vibration. We gave you body posture and breathing first. Then what we did was we took that body feeling, right? And we had you turn it into a color. Right? This is something you won't find in any manifestation class. In fact, this is the first time I've ever taught this in a law of attraction workshop. Human cells are made of heat, light, sound, electricity, and magnetism. Those are the five building blocks of every human cell. Heat, light, sound, electricity, and magnetism. If you go to a doctor's office and they treat you, drugs aside, what are they going to use? They're going to use heat, they're going to use light, they're going to use sound, they're going to use electricity, and they're going to use magnetism. If you go to a Qigong doctor, one who's well-trained, you know what they're going to use, or a Chinese medical practitioner, you know what they're going to use? They're going to use heat, they're going to use light, they're going to use electricity, they're going to use magnetism, and they're going to use sound. This is where the energetic matrix of the human body meets the physical matrix of the human body. And it's all governed by the spiritual body, which is thought and intention. Now, when you want to clear, to purge, to purify your system, you use sounds. Okay? When you want to create, transform, or energize something, you use color. Now, lest you think I'm talking out my butt or there's no precedent for this, how many people here, by show of hands in the chat, have ever read the Bible? And I don't care if it's the New Testament or the Old Testament. I don't even think I think it might even be in the Quran. I never read the Quran. I don't know for sure. Let me ask you a question. What is the very first words after in the beginning? What are the first words after and in the beginning? What's the very first paragraph in the Bible? Well, actually it says Bereshit in the Hebrew, but it's in the beginning. God said. What did God say? Let there be, type it in the chat, light. Now, for those of you with NLP training or the eyes to see and who understand how to move through the world in terms of process and structure, that jumps out at you. First, God said, and then God created light. He created a space using vibration and sound, and he filled it with light. It's right there, right in front of you. It's been there for thousands of years, but only the initiates ever get shown that. Okay. Now, in Planet David, we have all kinds of trainings and things like that for developing your ability to use sound and light. Some of the people in the chat, we've actually pulled the alcohol out of wine and beer and shit, which is really funny because it creates this contact high for everybody in the room. We probably won't, well, maybe we will. We might do something, we'll do something similar to that at Hidden Laws of Attraction. But my point is that when I had you point to a feeling, that feeling is a vibration in your body. But it's not something you can work with directly. You have to transform it. So what did we transform it into? We turned it into color. We turned it into light. Okay, so remember, if we want to purge something, we use a sound. If we want to amplify something, we use color and light. So when I start telling you, imagine a brilliant ball of energy floating above your head. What happened next? Notice how the feelings in your body shift and changes with every breath you take and every beat of your heart. That ball of energy begins to grow, begins to expand, begins to fill the entire room from floor to ceiling, from wall to wall, and all points in between. Notice how it wraps itself around you like an amazing blanket of victory, a cocoon, a shield, a suit of armor. You guys remember when we did this? If you remember, type it in the chat. Right? What did I do? I had your nervous system create a state, a body feeling, a frequency and vibration that you wanted more of. And then using color generated by your own neurology, we amplified it in the room. And because your nervous system created it, your nervous system accepted it. True, not true? Right? If I gave you an arbitrary color, it would work on a certain percentage of you. But on some of you, it would fall completely flat because that color is not in harmony with your vibrational field and the neural associations that you make. Like if I said, imagine a powerful golden color of victory floating above your head. Well, if victory for you isn't gold, that may not work for you as quite as powerfully. Does that make sense? So this is the takeaway. Anything the human nervous system creates, it accepts and will work with. And so one of the things I teach my students in Hidden Laws of Attraction, Identity by Design, Advanced Regression, and Real World and Trauma Resolution is that the answer is always in the question. Okay, we have this is something you learn about in Hidden Laws of Attraction and in Identity by Design, called the 6 dynamics of an unconscious response. Unconscious mind always answers first. It always answers honestly. It always feels like you're making it up. You always have an urge to edit what just came up. It's never loud. It's never linear. Those are the 6. If you understand those, you can dissolve any and all resistance you get from any client in any therapy session. You can learn how to dialogue with your own autonomic nervous system and get valuable, useful, actionable information that you can use to make very powerful, deep transformations in yourself, as well as other people. 6 simple things that we need to understand to drive our minds and bodies better at every level, from the spiritual level to the energy level, to the physical level, to the soul level, and all points in between. So this is something I want you guys to get. Unconscious mind always answers first, always answers honestly, always feels like you're making it up. You always have an urge to edit what just came up. It's never loud and it's never linear. Wrap that all in one little bubble that says what the nervous system creates, the nervous system accepts. Okay, what the nervous system creates, the nervous system accepts. Now, the next thing I had you do after we understood the difference between positive states and negative states, I had you change your posture, I had you change your breathing. What do we do next? We breathe, we found a body feeling, we turned it into a color, we filled the room with it. So now we have a reservoir of this energy to swim in. Okay, we amplified the energy. Okay. The next drill I had you do was tap into your emotional drivers. Okay, we created a default state to work from. Now we focus on the specific things you want and the energy connected to that. We did that with the emotional motivation checklist, the what's important about decision tree. You guys remember that? Type yes in the chat. Okay. You guys with me so far? Is this making sense? Okay. The next piece is we elicited what those, what are we going to get from the byproduct of tonight's webinar? What's that going to do for us? What's important about that? What's that going to do for us? What's important about that? What's that going to do for us? What's important about that? And we answered those questions. And then when we spoke those out loud, we had this amazing rush of energy and our state transformed again. True or false? Okay. Esnachi says yes. Perfect. You're learning. You're getting this. You're getting the process, aren't you? Now, let's examine once again those body feelings. Okay. So when you read the list out loud, how many of you felt amazing? 100% amazing. Just type 100% if it was you. If it wasn't 100%, type in the percentage you felt amazing in the chat. Okay. Don't lie. If you didn't feel 100% amazing, okay, good. Excellent. So now my question for the and this is actually for the 100%ers too. I want you to go back, and if you need to, felt a bit overwhelming, that's normal. For those of you, if you need to, go back and reread your list out loud again. But now what I want you to do is I want you to remember those feelings. And I want you to notice something. I want you to notice if, in addition to that really good feeling that you had, did you notice any background feelings that were kind of icky? Or little thoughts that popped up that kind of tried to derail your thought, your state, as you were saying these things out loud? If you had either icky feelings or icky words pop up in your head, type that in the chat. Jack says yes. Nobody else? Okay. If you did, congratulations. You just discovered the thoughts that you didn't know you had, the beliefs and the memories that you didn't know you had. So if you do this drill, right, I'm going to meet, as a byproduct of buying this training, I'm going to attract and meet my soulmate. We're going to be happily ever after. It's going to be the best thing since sliced bread. Great feeling here, icky feeling here. Okay. Point to where the icky feeling is. Close your eyes. If there were a picture floating in the space around you that represented that icky feeling, a picture that you could reach out and touch. Physically take your hand, reach out and touch it. Now trace the outline of it with both of your hands so you know how big it is. Once you got that, make sure we got the right one. Reach out, grab that picture with both of your hands and make it big, like expand the window on your touchscreen or your iPhone. Notice what happens to the feelings in your body. Does it get stronger or does it get weaker? Doesn't matter which one it does, just pay attention to what it does. Now put it back to its original size. Now slowly pull that picture closer to your body and notice what happens to the body feeling now. Does it get stronger? Does it get weaker? That's fine too. Now put it back to where it was. Now I want you to use your imagination. I want you to put a big, thick, black frame around that picture you've just been playing with. And you're probably too young to remember when televisions had real dials and knobs and switches instead of touch screens and remote controls. But I want you to feel along the base of that frame. And I'd like you to notice that there's some dials and knobs and switches, like on an old style television. And I want you to find the knob that controls the brightness or the contrast. And I want you to turn that knob all the way to the right until the image whites out completely. Notice how that makes you feel. Turn the image all the way to the left until the image blacks out completely. Notice how that makes you feel. And decide for yourself which one you like better. Do you like it all the way to the white or all the way to the black? Whatever it is, turn that knob all the way in that direction till it's completely whited out or blacked out. Once you've got that, I want you to take the index finger of your dominant hand and in glowing golden letters across that whited out or blacked out screen, there were some important lessons, positive or negative, that this experience had to teach you. I want you to write those lessons and the feelings on the screen in glowing golden letters so you can keep all the lessons and let everything else go. Now the screen will scroll like a tablet, so you have an infinite, unlimited writing space. Some people know exactly what those lessons are and boom, 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 just like that clockwork, they just write those lessons out. Some people have no conscious idea what those lessons are. And so just like automatic writing works, let your unconscious mind express itself in whatever way it needs to. Let the part of you that knows what those things are express itself. Now, some people draw squiggles. Some people draw pictures. Some people get really upset and angry and they write, fuck you, fuck you, fuck you across the screen. Some people write with both hands simultaneously, like they're writing Chinese and Hebrew at the same time. However your body wants to do it, just let that process take place. You may notice feelings and thoughts and ideas and statements coming up. Put them on the screen so you can keep all the lessons and let everything else go. And keep writing until everything that needs to be kept is on that screen and everything else has been dissolved and melted and drained away. When you know you've got that, reach up with both of your hands. Shrink that picture down to the size of a postage stamp or even smaller. Notice how the feelings in your body shift and changes with every breath you take and every beat of your heart. Your unconscious mind moves that image all the way back beyond the horizon. What sound a hammer makes when you're banging on a nail? Feel it nailed back there for all eternity, impossible to come back. You know it's nailed back there for all eternity, impossible to come back. Test it. Try to bring it back and notice what happens instead. Now, for those of you who did this drill, go ahead and type in the chat what you experienced. You see what's going on here. Anybody with me in the chat? So Jax is saying, why, when I am moving the screen, I don't feel anything? You probably have some layers of dissociation there. So grab it, slam it into your body, pull it out. Now, this will probably cause you to tear up and feel things you don't necessarily want to feel, but that's how you break up that stagnation. Okay. Anybody else? The question is, if we nail it behind us, what happens to the lesson? The lesson is preserved. The place behind us is a storage cabinet for things that your neurology classifies as overdone and complete. Jack says, now I feel it. I warned you. Right. What Jack's just experienced happens. I discovered it as a clinical. It was a clinical phenomenon. A lot of times people have extra layers of desensitization and dissociation between their body feelings and their external projections. And so I would run into this over and over again in the clinic. And after a while, because my NLP training and my hypnosis training never prepared me for a lot of the things I encountered in the clinical setting, I had to figure shit out on my own. And so one day I just, as an epiphany, I just had the person reach out, grab the picture, slam it into their body and pull it back out. And I just had them keep doing that. And what happened was it reattached, it reconnected their body feelings to their proprioceptive energy system. And all of a sudden now, any change they made out here changed their subsequent body feelings. And so now they could change it to whatever they wanted. Okay. Now here's, again, because I don't want to hand you everything. I want you guys to think your way through this. Think about what I just said. Think about what I just said. Everything about vibration that we work with is about body feelings. If I have a body feeling and I have a component of it out here that I can use to change it, I can turn any body feeling I have into any body feeling I want. You see the significance of this drill? Yes or yes? Are you guys in a coma? Type it in the chat. I can't tell. Right? How many of you actually did this drill besides Jack's? Anybody else? Okay. Oh, Sandra did. Okay. And Sandra, what? As Nachi did? Okay. For those of you who did the drill, what happened? Did you have something go away? And Holly's sending me a message that you guys need to click that link before it's too late. Sandra says, yes, felt lighter. Yes, you lost energetic weight. What happens a lot of times, as Anachi says, good feeling. Yeah, what happens a lot of times is your energy body builds up a charge because of something in the spiritual body, the thought and feeling body. And that's where the real problem is. But most people don't have a way to connect the physical, energetic, and spiritual levels through an interface everybody understands. So when you connect these things this way, you're working on the coding system that is universal from the most subtle aspect of your soul to your spirit body, to your energy body, to your physical body. And so you can change anything you want into anything you want. Now there's a language to this, a somatic language, if you will. And again, in your class, Secrets of Personality Transformation, it should be in Hidden Laws of Attraction as well. You'll see something called energy-centered psychotherapy or body-centered energy psychotherapy. There's this phenomena known as the somatic search engine. Vivificate. There's all kinds of little body-centric practices that we do that allow us to amplify and magnify whatever vibrational frequencies that we want, or transform them into anything we want. So when we take something, we connect it out here, we reprocess it, we shrink it down, we move it behind us, every level of our neurology classifies it as something that is now overdone and complete. So when you are doing your manifestation drill, which is the next thing we're going to play with, is going to be the information drill, which is a way to bypass and get around your intrinsic limiting beliefs. We have many ways to change and transform limiting beliefs, but we don't have time to cover it all in a 3-hour webinar when we need a 3 or 4 day training to do it. Okay, so I'm giving you stuff you can just start putting to work right away. Has this been useful so far? Have I delivered the things I've been promising to you? Yes or yes? Okay. I want to make sure because again, should have Sandra says, heck yeah. Edie says yes. Jim Rios, absolutely good. Okay. So let's start. Let's just backtrack and review. Everything starts with what you want, how you know you're getting it, what's the foundational state you need to be in. We started with victory. We could have used playfulness, but I think victory for this group seemed to be more appropriate. Then we layered in the emotional energy necessary to manifest and attract what we wanted. Then we looked for anything that might be getting in the way. So we breathed that color into our body. We became aware of the good feelings, the emotional drivers, the things we wanted, and then we became aware of the icky, nasty background feelings. And we zeroed in on those, and we started dissolving them. We started reprocessing and reprogramming them so that when we re-access the energies we want to attract, it's cleaner and it's more powerful. And there's nothing tainting it. That's what you've just learned. Okay? With the whole magic frame part. The technique is called magic frame. We show it a lot on the YouTube channel because it's one of those that you don't leave home without it. It's too powerful not to use. Here's what comes next. Now that we've cleaned the vessel, we've energized the vessel, we've harmonized the vessel, we've cleaned it, we know what we want, we know how we're getting it. Now we want to circumvent, Rob, you could absolutely use gray room. Gray room takes longer to do. That's why we don't teach it usually in a webinar. I used to do gray room a lot in my early webinars. Usually as towards the end of the webinar, people wanted to kind of just drop a bunch of crap. I just run them through a gray room and stuff like that, and people will be happy as it. Maybe we'll do that in the future for future webinars or whatever. We'll start bringing back some of these longer meditative practices and things like that for people. But gray room is very powerful, but it's not fast enough for what we're doing here. Okay. Also, unless you modify gray room, it doesn't necessarily target the safety lessons connected to why that belief or that limiting feeling is hanging around. It'll let you get rid of stuff, kind of like soaking the pot and scrubbing it before you put it in a dishwasher. But if there's a reason for that limiting belief to be there, that your nervous system feels is important to your safety, it'll fight to keep it. Gray room doesn't directly address that. That's why if you look at the Identity by Design silo, which we usually cover at the beginning of the webinar, but I skipped around a lot, you have general negativity clearing, special negativity clearing, default driver states, internal dialogue training, temporal editing, boom of eternity, and then magic frame, which is where we install the traits, qualities, and character, or magic circle, which is where we install the traits, qualities, and characteristics of people we admire. Okay, that's the whole 7-stage Identity by Design sequence. You'll learn it in part of it in Hidden Laws of Attraction. You'll also learn part of it in the Secrets of Personality Transformation home study course. If you join us virtually for the Identity by Design 4-day certification, you'll learn it hook, line, and sinker, ready to go out and make money using it. If you come to Hidden Laws of Attraction in San Diego, August 20th through the 24th, you'll learn how to use it to install the traits, qualities, and characteristics of people who are naturally lucky. So not only will you have this awesome, unstoppable inner game, you'll also have the traits, qualities, and characteristics that make you not have to work quite so hard. Not a bad deal, right? Just click the link, www.nlppower.com/HLOA, www.nlppower.com/HLOA. Hold on a second. Right. I'm going to actually put this for those of you who want to take advantage of the offer. I know some of our YouTubers missed it. I did manage to get them back online a little bit. I can't find my chat though. Not sure what happened there. Anyway, I'll post it in the comments section later, guys. I'm sorry, I don't know what happened, why they didn't give us a chat, but anyway. So, okay, so now what we're going to do is we're going to go back to a principle I gave you earlier. How many of you wrote this down? What the neurology creates, the neurology accepts. Type in the chat if you actually wrote it down. People love gray room and often ask to do it again. Yeah, gray room is a big favorite. Okay. This next technique, the informations level 1, is the first way to begin to create affirmations that bypass your limiting beliefs. You see, when you arbitrarily create an affirmation, let's just use the old classic standard. Let me share my screen really quick. A page. Okay, so I hope everybody can see this. So when we think of an affirmation, we'll just use a standard one. Every day, in every way, I am getting better and better and better. Okay. This is a very old affirmation. It was originally created by a Frenchman by the name of Emile Coué. And for decades, people would literally just repeat this to themselves over and over and over again. But it would literally take tens of thousands of repetitions before people would start seeing results. The question is why? And the answer I can give you is, and again, this is for you guys in the chat. For those of you who are on YouTube, I know that it's hard to reach the chat. Let me ask you guys in here a question. And again, you will avoid taking this as a direction or a suggestion, but let's hypothesize for a moment that something happened to me. One of my kidneys is defective or had a disease or something like that. And the only way to save my life was to get me a new kidney. And I had a choice. I could put myself on the donor list, get lucky and get a transplanted kidney from somebody else, right? Or they could take some healthy stem cells from my kidney or my bone marrow and grow me a new kidney. Which one wouldn't work? And it's not a trick question. Which one would not work? Assuming we had the technology to regrow a kidney now, and it were possible. Which one would not work? Don't be bashful, type it in the chat, folks. Shit, he's actually making us answer questions. What's up with that? I thought this was a free webinar. All I had to do was sit and do nothing and not think. Okay, Jack says the first one. Put my name on a donor list, get a new kidney from somebody else. Okay. Edie says grow a new one. Sandra says stem cells, same consciousness that caused a defective kidney. Assuming we have the ability to grow a healthy one. Again, we're taking it from the healthy kidney, the transplant. Brad says, Brad's thinking. Both would work. But one requires what? A lot of anti-rejection drugs. This is why, what's another word for rejection? Anybody? What's another word for rejection? Protection. Okay. Denial. Resistance. Nailed it, Mark. Rejection is a form of resistance. So, law of the mind says that you won't do anything that you don't want to do or that's not in harmony with something that's gone before. If I give you a suggestion, it's like that transplanted kidney. But if I can get you to create your own suggestion, it's like growing a new kidney. Which one has more probability of being fully accepted by the host? The grown kidney or the transplanted one? Grown, absolutely. It's really a no-brainer when you don't overthink it. But this is a metaphor that I want you to understand about why sometimes the suggestions you're being given or are giving yourself don't work. One, it's coming from the wrong part of your brain. Two, it's not in harmony with your deeply held belief systems. Okay? Your neurology is designed to keep you the same. Let me repeat that. Okay? Your neurology is designed to keep you the same. In hypnosis and NLP and other derivatives, we talk about something called the critical faculty of the conscious mind. The critical faculty of the conscious mind is in place to keep you from changing too quickly. It's designed to filter out any information or communication that doesn't match what you've accepted as true inside your mind. Let me repeat that. It's designed to filter out any communication or suggestion or direction that doesn't match the model of how the world's supposed to be inside your mind. And so when you write an affirmation from the neocortex level, you're writing from a conscious mind level. Your conscious mind is the weakest, most anal retentive part of you. It's the 2-year-old of the body. When you take suggestions from another human being and try to apply them to yourself, it's a crapshoot. It's a crapshoot because that other person's mental syntax, the way they think and how they think and their value system and their belief systems may be very different from how yours is structured. Because that structure is different, it won't have the same effect necessarily on you that it would on them. Are you guys with me so far? Can you see the big picture here? So the question becomes, how do we create suggestions? And affirmations are just suggestions and directions we're giving to ourselves. How do we create suggestions and directions that align with our nervous system, that align with our value system, that align with our belief systems, conscious and unconscious? How do we do that? It's very simple, actually. And again, when you come to Hidden Laws, I will explain all the linguistic tricks behind this. I'll explain how it works, why it works. I'll let you try to disprove it or make it not work, and you'll prove to yourself that it does. But because I want you to have an experience, we're going to do this process. We call this Yin Affirmations level 1. There's like 3 or 4 other levels of this that we just go deeper and stronger. But this will get you started. Okay. Before I do that, though, I want to remind everybody that we're coming to the close of our webinar for today. And so I want to make sure that you guys, if you were on the fence about any of the offer that we've got going on today, I want you to make sure that you grab your offer. For those of you joining us on YouTube, I will post this link for you in the comments section. It's the Hidden Laws of Attraction Ultimate Manifestation Mastery Home Study Course. This is one of the most powerful packages we've ever put out. It includes the entire Hidden Laws of Attraction Ultimate Manifestation Mastery program. It's a $1,997 value. You also get the Vibrational Influence UK Special Edition, $2,497 value. We're going to give that to you free. You're going to get Vibrational Healing Home Study Course, $2,497 value. We're going to give that to you free. You're going to get Secrets of Personality Transformation, $2,497 value, free. Hidden Laws of Attraction Soulmate Secrets Masterclass, $1,997 value. Once again, we're going to give it to you for free. You're going to get the Attraction Mastery 4-day intensive that gives you the actual social dynamic tools to attract and keep and find your soulmates. Okay, so soulmates is mostly about inner game and the characteristics, personalities, and temperaments of what you're looking for and how to get it. And Attraction Mastery are the physical techniques and skills necessary to find and attract those people and keep them as part of your life. right? So there's yin yang combination there. We're going to give you a 3-month trial membership to the NLP Power Mastermind Mentoring Program. It's a 1,000 and the 10-year or 11-year archive. It's a $1,597 value. We're going to give that to you absolutely free. And for those of you who register for the free VIP super ticket, we're going to give you a twofer. You're going to get a VIP super ticket to the Hidden Laws of Attraction live training scheduled for August 20th through the 24th here in San Diego. We're also going to throw in, as an extra value bonus, we're going to throw in a free virtual ticket, I call it a fast pass to our next Identity by Design 4-day hypnosis and hypnotherapy certification program. So if you're looking to increase your hypnosis skills, transform yourself from the inside out, create another revenue stream for working with your coaching clients, this is the class you want to take. You can do it all from the comfort of your own home. We have some of the best proctors available. Holly's been with us in our exclusive Zoom Maven for almost 4 or 5 years now, and people absolutely love her. You'll be in the room with me virtually, and she'll be making sure that you get all the experiences you need to qualify for the provisional certification that we offer for those of you who attend. Okay. Total for that Identity by Design course is $3,150. It's not listed here, but the total value, if you were to get that, the entire package we're talking about, will be $21,497. You can get it all for one low investment of just $997, or you can break that up into 3 easy installments of $397 each. All you need to do is go to www.nlppower.com/hidden laws of attraction. It's www.nlppower.com/hidden laws of attraction. One more time with feeling. It's www.hiddenlawsofattraction/HLOA. All right. So I wanted to get that in before we come into the information segment. Because again, some of the folks are joining us on YouTube. I know they missed a chunk of the prep work, but hopefully I've done enough review that they can follow along and get the benefit from this next piece. Okay. Let me go back and stop sharing here, and I'll stop sharing here. All right. So going back to the information. So how do we do this? How do we craft a statement how do we craft an affirmation that bypasses our limiting beliefs? Again, goes back to this idea. What the nervous system creates, the nervous system accepts. So I'm going to go share my screen again, and I'm going to help. And it would probably be useful for those of you who really want to grab this or get a hold of this process. Get out a piece of paper and a pencil and write some of these out for your application. Right. And what I might do is I might spot check you guys and just have you share some of your informations in the chat, and I'll give you feedback on them. Okay. So let me go ahead and put this up. And I'll put this up. Okay. So instead of every day in every way, let's see if I can make that a little bigger. Okay. Instead of every day in every way, I'm getting better and better and better thousands and thousands of times. I could write every day in every way, I am getting better and better because, and fill in the blank with whatever pops up first. So take a moment, write down every day in every way I'm getting better and better because. What's the first thing that pops up in your head? Write that down and fill it in the blank. And then do it again. Every day in every way, I'm getting better and better because. Okay. Now, you may notice that each time you do this, you get a slightly different answer. That's okay, because whatever answer your nervous system gives you is the one it will accept. Let me repeat that. Whatever because response your nervous system gives you is the one it will accept. It's the one that will allow it to make that suggestion come true. Okay? Just to test it. Write this information structure down a couple more times, just using the everyday and every way one. Pay attention to what your unconscious mind answers. And then what I want you to do, just like we did before, I want you to read the answers out loud. Pick, do 5 or 6 of them, and either pick one and read it out loud 5 times, or read them all once 5 times, and notice what happens to the feelings in your body. And type in the chat what you feel. Type it in the chat. I'll wait. So Ritu says, I want it. I want to be happy. Kavita says, I deserve it. Okay. Now, you don't need to write the answers, but they're all good. Okay. Now, when you physically speak those affirmations or those yin formations out loud, what happens in your body? What happens when you speak them out loud? What happens in your body? Crystal says it gives a feeling of confidence. Rita says feels alive. Fireworks, Edie says. How many repetitions of the old way? Kavita says slight discomfort. Okay, now that you've found the slight discomfort, Kavita, point to where you feel it, reach out, touch the picture. And just like you saw me do, trace the outline of it, make it bigger, make it smaller. Notice how the feelings change. Put a big old frame around it. Find the knob, white out the screen, dark out the screen. Write the lessons on the screen. So you can keep all the lessons, let everything else go. Shrink it down. Notice how the feelings in your body shift and change as your other than conscious mind moves that picture all the way up over the top of your head, back behind the horizon where it disappears completely. It's nailed back there for all time. And when you know it's completely nailed back there for all eternity, impossible to come back, test it. Try to bring it back. Notice what happens instead. Now, yeah, Kavita, I went really fast, and it's okay. Take as long as you need to do that. Okay, go back and watch this process again and again and again. This is why I gave you the magic frame before this. Okay, because in most people, you're going to get fired up really quick. How many of you noticed you got in less than 5 of the information forms or less, you got more fired up than if you did 1,000 of the old ones? True or not true? Okay. Jack says lots of, yeah. So if you want to use affirmations, this is how you do it. And if you have an experience like Kavita does, point to where you feel it, reach out, touch the picture, put the lessons on the screen, put a frame around it, shrink it down, move it behind you, do the yin formations again, and just keep building on it, because these only get stronger and stronger and stronger. If you want to take it even further, point to where in your body you feel it, turn it into a color, fill the room with it, wrap it around you, breathe it through your whole body. Now your entire system is resonating and pulsating with that frequency at the right with a super strong amplitude, programmed for the right thing. And it's fun. True or not true? Because if you're not having fun, you're not being effective. Once you embody this, there's all kinds of other things that you can do with it. Okay, what you've done is you've created a vessel and a crucible, for lack of a better word, where you can create and mix alchemically the vibrations for the manifestation of what you want. You've purified that vessel by finding the icky spots and removing them. And then you've used a system that works in harmony with the deepest, most primal levels of your body and mind to create an instruction and a direction that bypasses the limiting, the reasons why you might not do something, and works and focuses on the reasons for why you will. Remember, when your unconscious mind gives you that answer, it has been vetted by every single belief system, experience, ad infinitum that you've had. And it's been passed and processed and vetted and cleared by all of it. So when you give that sequence of internal and external information back in the way I've given it to you, it functions like a direct command to your system. And because it matches every password at every level of the system, it all goes in and there's nothing to fight back against. There's nothing to resist or reject. Does that make sense? Okay. So we're going to do a last call. We've got one more lesson on the informations that we're going to do. And what we're going to do now with this is we're going to customize it. Now what I want you to do is I want you to write down on a sheet of paper 5 things that you want to manifest. But now what I want you, after you've written those 5 things down, what I want you to do is I want you to use the information structure to create affirmations or instructions to your neurology that your nervous system will actually accept. So write 5 things down using this information structure, right? Every day, whatever your information is. Let me go ahead and put this here. Let's say I want a 6-figure business. I now earn 6 figures because fill in the blank. I now attract my perfect partner because. I now win every interview because. I now easily finish my book because, right? So again, I now clean my house joyfully, or I now joyfully clean my house. Let's try that. I want you to play with this, right? Again, I'm giving you examples. You don't have to use my examples. But the point here is that I want you to understand this structure so that when you start doing your law of attraction work, you have something that actually works for you and it works really fast. You can't see the examples? Are you sure, Ritu? Because they should show up. Hold on a second. There we go. Is that better? Oops. Can you see them now? Oh, they showed up there? Okay. Okay, so once you've, and just so I know that you've got this, just cut and paste one of your fully formed informations in the chat so I can see it. That just makes it smaller. I'd already done that, Brad. The problem is if I can use my mouse. Okay. I now earn 6 figures because I work towards doing it. Kavita, what happens when you say that out loud? Does it feel good? Yeah. See, that's something your nervous system will let you act on. Can we go in and clean up all the limiting beliefs and all the things that are in the way and all the thoughts we didn't know we had and all the beliefs we didn't know we had and our dominant? Yeah, we can do all that. We absolutely can. In fact, you'll learn how to do it. But that doesn't help you today. It doesn't give you a way necessarily to create the foundation, prime the pump, get shit out of the way, and then fire the bullet. I am saving more and more money to go to David's seminars. Good. Okay. Anybody else want to share? Ritu says, I think she was supposed to have a feel there. Now very healthy and achieve my desired self because I started listening to my body more. Good. Good. I now choose to be free of and healed from any negativity and unhelpful limitations from my past because, Mark, okay, what I'm looking for is the because. I need to see a because to be, it needs to have a because in it to be a level 1 information. Okay, remember, because is the magic word that takes things from a neocortical response to a deeper one, because that is now what I want. Very good. Now say those things, say those informations out loud with the full because X after it, and notice what happens to the body feelings. Okay. You guys on YouTube, you can do this at home as well, right? I showed you the techniques because I'm an education whore and I'm applying it to my life. Very good. Now it's funny, right? It sounds, you kind of laugh at yourself for saying it, but when you read the whole yin formation out loud, notice what happens to your energy level. Notice what happens to your desire to do it and the belief that you actually can, right? When you use this process, you literally stop fighting and resisting yourself. Does that make sense? Cool. All right. Well, my friends, I hope you've enjoyed tonight's training. I really, really, really want you to go ahead and click that link now to get your last call for the 2-for-1s. You know, repeat after me. I am now clicking David's link because answer the question, and then do that. Right. Once again, let me just go to our page here. Once again, remember this is quite literally the best deal we've ever given. It absolutely covers and checks all the boxes, gives all the dots. Guy says, I study because I really enjoy this subject and will improve my life beyond my dreams. Excellent. Excellent. So once again, hidden laws of attraction. Let me see if I can make this a little bit bigger. Doesn't look like it's going to get any bigger, so I'll just have to deal with it. Includes the Hidden Laws of Attraction Home Study Course, $1,997 value. Vibrational Influence UK, $2,497 value. We're going to give that to you free. Vibrational Healing Home Study Course, $2,497 value. We're going to give that to you free. Secrets of Personality Transformation, $2,497 value. Free. Hidden Laws of Attraction Soulmate Secrets Masterclass, $1,997 value. Free. Attraction Mastery 4-day intensive, $2,497 value. Free. NLP Power Mastermind Mentoring Practice Group, 3 months trial to try it out, and full access to 11-year video archive, $1,597 value for free. And of course, you're going to get the free VIP 2-for-1 ticket. You get the Hidden Laws of Attraction live 3-day training, super training here in San Diego, California. And you also get a free virtual fast pass to our next 4-day Identity by Design hypnosis and hypnotherapy certification, streamed live from Las Vegas, Nevada, July 17th through the 21st. Ritu says, you mentioned that these courses also help attract clients for pretty new coaching business. Yes, very much. Very much. Mark says, this was just fucking spectacular. Thank you so much. Amazed by it all. Very appreciative. Thanks, David. You're welcome, my friend. That's what I'm here for. All right. Listen, it's your life. It's your choice. All you got to do is take the actions. Your world can be everything you want it to be, but you have to make the decision that you deserve to have it. And all you got to do to prove it to yourself is click that link. Go to www.nlppower.com/HLOA, www.nlppower.com/HLOA. To quote the great Forrest Gump, that's about all I have to say about that. And in the words of the immortal Carol Burnett, I'm so glad we had this time together just to have a laugh or sing a song, maybe do a few informations. Seems we just got started. And before you know it, comes the time we have to say so long. Goodbye, everybody. Click that link and let's get this party started. Good night. God bless. Take care.